Jennie Noonkester, and I will be reading for you my short story entitled Drip, Drip, Drip. As Beth laid motionless on the office sofa, she heard the beat of the water drops hitting the base of the porcelain sink. Drip, 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 drip. The repetitive sound caught her attention as she tried to rest, but the quiet, steady sound began to magnify as the moments passed. The same pattern of sound and motion began to intensify. Beth tossed and turned on her sofa, unable to settle down. Her mind began to fixate on the quietness and cloistered sanctuary entombed inside the paired sphere. This is where it begins. With it, our lot cannot exist. The two are dependent on the other, water and spirit. The sound causes reflection, solitude, and calmness. It is natural. We are made of it as we are knitted together in restful play in our mother's womb. But being born causes us to leave the comfort of our inner safety and our maternal hideaway in order to experience life's freedom. If we remain in the solitude of our surroundings, then we remain unfinished. Its measures sing with unchanging patterns of sound, but the repetitive, quiet pop maddens the mind in imperfect solitude. The sound is odorless, bland, and untouchable existence. Being enslaved in whatever form hinders freedom of motion. With limited movement, we are just waves in a bucket or an unborn human. And the sound, if the sound is all that we are allowed to hear, drip, 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 or the wave on the surface is all that we are to behold, then no wisdom, growth, or freedom emerges into existence. It is just sound, surface tension in a bucket. Beth, get up, she whispered to herself. You must move, you must walk, you must create, you must float about on the waves of life. Don't be afraid, Beth. She slowly moves from the sofa towards the sink. The irritating sound must cease. Turning the faucet to the right, she felt the waves of sound stop. The room once more was at peace and smelled of lavender. She walked slowly to the back door of her house. She could hear the children in the backyard. Peering through the sliding door, she saw the German Shepherd running in a parallel circle, trying to get into the above-ground pool. It was just short enough that he could not jump in from the ground, and the children laughed at Troop as he continued to circle the pool, wanting to swim and panting from the heat. Porter and Chloe cheered and admired Troop's speed and persistence. As Beth peered outside at the children, she began to notice the scene unfolding in the backyard. Troop clearly wanted to be with the children to protect them and play, but could not figure out how to reach them because of the high walls of the above-ground pool. The children were clearly amused by the dog's antics. Then he did it. The dog figured it out what to do. Beth watched, amazed, as the dog ran to the edge of the fence, then paused. He was panting significantly from the heat and perpetual running. He ran as fast as he could and faced first into the seam of the pool. There was a slight pause after the thud, but then it happened. There was a sudden rush of a magnitude of water that hit the dog in the face and picked him up into the tsunami. Porter and Chloe rode on the dropping waves as it fell across the yard, eventually being stopped by the wooden garden fence. The dog began barking and licking the children frantically. He had freed them, and Troop had given them an adventure while satisfying his thirst by lapping up the puddles left from the deluge. When water was allowed out of his boundaries, adventure and excitement happened. Water was meant to move and to be free. It was not meant to be bound by Miller's doll in the house. Just like the human soul, it was meant to create energy and freedom of purpose. Thank you so much.